Hi friends, hope you're doing amazing. So a couple days ago, me and my friend Teo-san released a track called R2DETROIT on HotBoi Records on the new HotBoi Nation compilation. So I'll be breaking that track down, but before that, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also go check out that tape. It's full of amazing tracks, each with their own unique characteristic and vibe. It's an amazing tape and super blessed to be a part of it. But anyways, let's get into this. Okie dokie, so I'm gonna play a little bit of the track. I'll just play it from the break right before the second drop. Yeah, so here it is.
If y'all really want to hear the city of Detroit, I'll show you how to run the city of Detroit.
Alright, so yeah, let's go into Ableton. Okay, so I'll just break down every element that we have here, starting with the kick and the bass. So yeah, here's the kick and the bass bus. There we go. So the kick, pretty self-explanatory. It's just like this sample we got from Splice, a little bit of low passing going on, some compression, and we have another part of the kick layer that's just sort of this top end, just adding that the high end so it cuts through the mix so this to look a little bit better, and that's being high passed, of course. The bass line's coming from the Moog Minitaur that we sequenced through the R2DETROIT Beatstep Pro, and so for that we're just taking out some of these super lows and then low passing it. We have a little bit of compression going on just to take care of some of these transients, and then we have a sidechain for sidechaining to the kick. So that's the kick and the bass bus. So drum bus, it's again pretty simple. Most of these drums are coming from the TR8 drum machine, all of these except for these lasers. So here's what we got. Got these hats, another open hat, this closed hat, this 909 open hat, and we've just panned them. So this open hat's panned left, same with this open hat, and then we have the closed hat pan right, just to kind of spread everything out and give everything some space in the mix. And then the claps are straight down the middle, mono. Again, all these are coming from the TR8. There's no processing on these, at least on the channels. There's processing on the whole drum bus itself, but all these, TR8's super clean, and we're running the digital USB out signal to capture all these, so it's no noise from cables, none of that. So it's just it just sounds really good just out of the machine itself. So for the clap, we also have these two layers. So this layer right here is a snare and a clap combined. And then we have this, just add a little bit more weight to it. So this kind of takes care of the high end part of the clap, and this is more of sort of the low end. So yeah. So we got these lasers right here. I think this is from a sample, or it's from the electribe, I can't remember. But they're just kind of bouncing around the stereo field with this auto pan. And then we have this compressor again to take care of some of those harsh transients. More TR8 drums down here. Actually, no, this is not TR8. I think this is, I don't remember where this is from, but this is just kind of an airy clap, just to pretty much just to kind of it makes it sound like the clap is decaying longer, adds a little bit, like fills out the drum groove some more. So I can play it with and without. So without it, it adds a lot to it, you know, just like makes the clap seem a lot, you know, bigger, so to speak. And got some more closed hi-hats, and then some rides that are just like panning around. And we're using kickstart here just to sidechain it to the kick. So kickstart's a pretty cool plugin as well if you haven't heard of it, because it actually doesn't use compression. It's just like reducing, just like gain staging. So you don't have like some of the squash dynamics and stuff and the other artifacts that come from side chaining things. So yeah, so those are the drums. So next I'll go into the vocal, because there's some really interesting effects in here, especially during the build-up.
I really want to run the city of Detroit.
So there's a little bit of like this phaser effect, and then some
I'll
erosion,
show you how to damn run the city of damn
which like the erosion is just adding some more texture. Phaser is just, you know what a phaser does.
If y'all really
Just
wanna
like,
run the city
you know, a little bit of the
Detroit,
stereo effect and like kind of making it sound just a little bit more interesting. But all these like weird like things you hear right now is all coming from this plugin called Hysteresis. I fucking love this thing. So there's this thing like on here called the mod effects, like whatever, mod effects, yeah. And I don't know what it does, but whatever it does, it's just insane. And so if you combine it with like a lot of these other things in the plugin, you get this crazy effect. So what we're doing here is we're actually modulating a bunch of parameters. See all these things like the time, the feedback, modulation rate of this thing, the stutter I don't know how you say that. Propor? I don't know. But yeah, stutter, propor, speed, all these are just being modulated in this like breakdown. So like the feedback is also, or actually the time, that's what's giving it like that sort of like pitch bendy effect and modulating the pitch of the delay.
show you how to damn run the city of damn Detroit.
And so all these things just kind of being modulated just adds this like insane weird effect. And yeah, I love it. Like I can't believe this is a free plugin, but this is like the secret weapon of this track in my opinion is Hysteresis.
I really want to run the city of Detroit.
Just super I love when you just like stop in, it just like keeps playing, and it's just like these little like weird like ear candy sort of effects. But yeah, so that's pretty much like the main thing going on with the vocal. So more things in the build-up is this synth right here, just playing E and F, these two notes. This track is in A minor, but we're starting it in E, but the scale is still A minor, so that's why we have this like F in here. But that's just building up like in volume for this like build-up. And then we also introduce it every now and then in the track like here. So this is just kind of like, you know, introducing it, and then it's also playing out here. Yep. So yeah, then we have these bloops so this plays like on the drop and then like in like the build up and stuff. And so this comes from the Electribe ER1, which is also a drum machine, but it's got these cool synth parts and a lot of nice modulation parameters. So you have an LFO and a bunch of different waveforms. And so to make this sound, you just have it on like a square or saw wave, and then use an LFO with like a sample and hold function. So that's being linked to the pitch. So essentially like the sample and hold is just playing like a random pitch. And so when you get the LFO rate fast enough, you get these sort of like computer glitchy like bleep bloop sounds. And it's all like randomized. So It's just like, we just picked ones that like sounded like they went well together and just chopped them up and put them side by side. Yeah. So we got a bunch of other bloops in here. Couldn't be a not bloopy track, especially if it's named R2DETROIT. So we have this. I don't know where we got this from. I think this is coming from Arturia Pigments, and we just bounced it to audio. Either that or it's coming from the electribe. Honestly, can't remember. Just bouncing to audio makes it easy for like your CPU, because it's just dealing with audio. But yeah, this is just being auto pan. Got a little bit of saturator in here that's driving the signal pretty hard. And then we're modulating the pitch of it in the build-up with this plugin called Sound Shifter. It's just a waves plugin where you can, you know, just change the pitch of things. So that's what we're doing here. Just slowly building up in pitch. And then here we have just some delay going on, some ping pong delay. So another plugin we have, or sound, is the space ARP. So this I know for a fact came from Pigments, and we just bounced it to audio. This is like a preset in there. And yeah, just have saturator again, like driving the signal super hard. And then also OTT going pretty hard. This is also a free plugin. And this is adding some of that like white noise grit and stuff. So if I turn it down, turn it off, sounds like that. And so this is just like making it a lot brighter, and yeah, just like mainly adding a lot of that brightness, and of course that texture to it. We also have spaceship delay. So I love this pretty much like for what it says. It's like a spacey, futuristic sounding delay. So you can get some cool like slapback kind of effects from this as well. And this is also a free plugin. There's a lot of bomb free plugins out there. Just so you know. We also have this snare roll that's just building up. Again, pretty self-explanatory. I don't know why we have Sound Shifter on there. Oh yeah, this. There's like right before the second drop, the pitch goes down for the snare. Just kind of these little things just to make everything sound more interesting. There's also this like creepy ass vocal that we have in the build up. I think we got this from Splice. That just sounds super creepy. So we have this pitch down 3 semitones just to match with the key of the track. So this is an A.
If y'all really want to run the city of Detroit.
Oh yeah, so we also have this drop synth. So all this is the bass line just pitched up an octave. So you can see like this is the bass line. Same waveform, just pitched up. And yeah, it's being pitched up with that same plugin, Sound Shifter. Also being run through Isotope Trash just to like gritty it up. We got this like smooth overdrive going on here. And then we have 2 instances of the same thing, but they're panned like left and right and also slightly delayed. So we have one that's 3 milliseconds like delayed back, and then another one that's positively delayed 3 milliseconds. So you get this Haas effect. It's kind of like cheat codes if you only have a mono synth and you want a stereo effect. Just like pan it left and right and delay it by just a tiny bit. So like, yeah, it just makes it like, just opens up the soundstage and makes it sound a lot bigger. We're also gonna open up the filter as the as it builds up. So yeah. What else do we got? I think I went over this. Yep, I already talked about that. Got the bleep bloops. Oh yeah, the most important part which is R2D2. That's like the bread and butter of this track right there. Just have that playing like right before the drop. What is this? We made this like a year ago, so I'm just like looking at this like, what did we do here? Oh yeah, we have a couple of like risers that we got from Splice. We have that, and then this thing that's building up. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's like everything. Went through the drums, through the bass, through all these little synths. Yeah, cool. Oh yeah, last little thing. Again, another little Splice sample. This little effect. Like that little, it's just like a transition, just to make the arrangement flow a little bit better together. But yeah, so that's pretty much the track. Hope you guys enjoyed this little like breakdown. Go check it out on Spotify and all the streaming services. Go check out that tape and listen to all the other tracks. And yeah, hope you have a good day. Peace out.